So, it seems to me that you're making a request to submit a bid. Is there anything that you can imagine that would be behind their reluctance to either submit for those bids or?
Actually, I'm not sure. From our standpoint, if Zig has received a favorable bid to produce this product, it would be in their own company's interest to see whether we can do better. And it may be that we can't do better. I don't know, and our company can't know until we're provided with the specifications. And to be prohibited from even seeing the specific terms of the offer they're seeking is preventing us from even participating in the marketplace. And from our perspective, that's clearly in violation of this provision of the contract.
Ken, without having seen the contract or spent as much time with it as you and Sharon have clearly spent poring over it, can you give me a sense of if your client were to be able to present proposals, would then Sharon's client be obligated to go with that offer, or can you just give me an idea of what the process looks like once a proposal is created by your client?
Right. Well, under the contract, Shenzhen does have the right of first refusal. So the way this plays out is that Zig has the right to seek bids from third parties if it intends to manufacture new products. And after such solicitation, if Zig receives and intends to accept a written bona fide offer from that third party, and I'll just read directly from it, Zig shall first give Shenzhen written notice thereof, which notice shall include a copy of the third party offer, and shall set forth all of the material terms and conditions, including but not limited to all of the elements related to price, quantity, and delivery. And then provision 17.4 provides that Shenzhen has the right of first refusal in terms of manufacturing that new product.
Okay. So one other thing that I noticed when we were in our joint session, you mentioned several times how your business relationship was important to you and you perceived it as going very well. I don't recall hearing the same sentiments exactly from Sharon, and that may be that she didn't express them, but is there anything that you can think of that might lead Sharon's client to not have such positive feelings about the relationship? And I ask only to sort of shed some light on what might have brought this to the table.
Right. I'm not aware of anything that may have interfered with a good business relationship. We entered into the original exclusive manufacturing contract with a future relationship in mind, and my sense was that Zig similarly saw a future relationship. We didn't have any unusual problems as we were working through the beta testing phase of the manufacturing process. And I should add that Shenzhen has invested quite a bit in terms of time and resources to bring their product to be ready for full-scale manufacturing for market. We're now at the beginning of the full-scale manufacturing, and it seems to be going well. Our interest is to continue building on that good working relationship. And so frankly, we're a little bit surprised that Zig would not have given us the opportunity to bid on this new product. And we're perhaps even further surprised that they didn't simply bring it to us in the first place. So that's an element that we don't know what's going on, and we would be interested in learning more about.
Is that something that you think would be productive to talk about when we come back together, asking some of those questions?
Well, yes, in the sense that we believe that we bring tremendous value to them. We have been looking for, and we believe we have the potential for a long-term business relationship. And we need to understand more what might be interfering with that developing in a natural way.
I agree. I think that seems to be what I'm hearing is there's a disconnect between what seems logical to you and what seems appropriate to them. And so I think if we can get some more of that information out, there might be a way to come to some sort of agreement today.
What I'll say, and this should be no surprise, we are certainly confident that we could enforce the provision of the contract. But our interest is not primarily enforcing this contract language. Our interest is in finding out what it means and what is necessary to forge a long-term relationship with Zig. If it turns out that we have no viable future relationship with Zig, then we will be more aggressive in enforcing what we are confident are our contractual rights. But on the other hand, if there is a good faith interest in further developing our business relationship, then this particular product manufacturing piece is less important in the scheme of things.
Well, it seems to me if you do develop a long-term relationship, you'll want to iron out so that we're not back here with the next, who knows what the next technology looks like, right?
Right. And we want to work with Zig.
Okay.
We're a large-scale manufacturer. We have a lot of very good customers, and we would like Zig to be one of our very good customers.
Well, before I bring Sharon in, is there anything that you've told me in our private meeting here that you would or would not like me to share with her, or where do you sit with that?
Well, I would like you to, I mean, I'll do it myself, but I would be fine with you communicating to Sharon that what I just said, that we value our business relationship with Zig. We believe that we have the potential for a very strong long-term relationship, and that that's our primary goal here. What I would not authorize you to disclose is the relative priority with which we place that in terms of enforcing this contract provision. We stand ready, willing, and we believe quite able to prove this up in court if we need to, but I'm not interested in brinksmanship, and so I'd rather that not be brought out on the table.
So if you just want to take a seat out in the hallway, I'll speak with Sharon for a moment.